Hello, everyone. So, today I just wanted to talk about the fear of missing out. Ooh, horses. Nice. So, the fear of. Excuse me. So, the fear of missing out, as it were, is pretty much what it says it is. It's the notion that the grass can always be greener on the other side, and so because of that notion, you trap yourself into thinking that since it always could be better, this goes down pretty far. I'm just not going to make a decision at all because it just always could be better, and so I'll just wait for it to be, which, as we all know, isn't entirely how it works. Even the people who think this don't really believe that that actually works, because what it does is traps you not only in this habitual indecision, but it disables you from actually interacting with the population as a whole. And I'll explain why after I marvel about the fact that I found sheep so early and so many pumpkins. So, that's the biggest pumpkin patch I've ever seen. Holy cow. I'm harvesting all of them. So, a wise man once told me that there are no good or bad decisions in life. There are only decisions and making the best of those decisions. Now, of course, that raises some eyebrows because it's like, doesn't that disregard a sense of morality or general natural ethics or logic? And it's like, not entirely, because making the best of the decision you make could mean that eventually the decision wears itself out. For example, I remember having to leave my scouting group at one point after being a part of it for like 10 years. And it was rough because I really didn't want to. But in the end, I simply had to decide I either wanted to stay or not stay. And I chose not to stay. And that's just kind of how it went down. And you know, those two simple words, no regrets, are very much a thing that you're supposed to adhere to, because really, we're all supposed to live life with no regrets. Because whatever we do decide to do with our lives are just decisions that we made in the moment and deemed the best for that specific circumstance. I know that for me, there's been many decisions that are pretty... Why is there a zombie? Hold on, let me just kill this sheep. Yeah, so in regards to the scouts, it really was the best decision at the time because I just wasn't meshing very well with the people, and I really needed out. The personality conflicts were too vast for us to necessarily resolve because there was a large difference on our fundamental belief system. Like, it went far beyond just from a difference in opinion, because we had many differences in opinions, like more than what the average person typically has. It was ridiculous. I'm actually... It's all the sheep. I'm gonna set up my place right here. Just have a nice area all to myself. Nice caves and stuff. Time to go find some trees. I'd go for the birch, but I'm an oak fan more. Comment down below what your favorite tree in Minecraft is. Personally, mine is spruce, but since I'm not in a spruce environment, I will decide to do oak. Oak and birch mix pretty well, but you gotta do it right. And frankly, I'm not very well versed in it, so... Anyways, making decisions it can be a difficult thing, especially when the decisions are really, really big. Like, I know that every now and then I'm tempted to think to myself, well, you know, certainly it can be better than, like, my girlfriend, right? And this girlfriend in particular, I intend to marry. I think she's the one. In fact, I firmly believe that she's the one. And if I don't stick to that, I'm just going to constantly be thinking to myself, like, oh, but it could be better, or it could be worse, or I could have a better life with somebody else, or I could have the exact same life with somebody else that might just be slightly prettier. And it's this trap that society really has imposed upon us as a whole, that basically says you have to like live it up and learn about yourself and go out into the world and meet people and like settle down much, much later in life than what people like really are designed to do. And it's something that I find particularly frustrating because I do not subscribe to the belief that we should wait very long for things, because really things aren't that difficult to obtain. Things like marriage and happiness, for example, right? It's this notion that you don't want to marry young, right? Because she might not be the one or stuff like that. And you have to think about it very simply, you know? It's like, listen, logically speaking, is this girl the one? Well, what does she have that, first of all, attracts me to her beyond just, you know, the physical element? And this goes for girls too, just reversed for because it's referring to guys. Do they share my same core fundamental beliefs? And if the answer is yes, then okay. Do we have differences in opinions about some things? I mean, of course you will eventually, right? I mean, I'm not a roller coaster guy, and my girlfriend is a roller coaster girl. She loves roller coasters. She's forced me on a few roller coasters already, and it's helped me develop this lack of fear towards speed that I didn't know I have. And it's kind of funny because I'm actually like a Lightning McQueen fanboy, as it were, but I am afraid of speed. Like, anything above 100 miles an hour, even inside a car, I get scared because I'm afraid of like losing control, or the person driving losing control. And you have to kind of consciously think about it as an opportunity to grow, which is something that Scouts definitely taught me. And it's something that I've really come to admire and stick with, is this notion of consciously making the effort to view things in a certain light. I made a conscious effort, and believe me, it was difficult, to not be afraid of the roller coaster and to take it as an opportunity to grow out of my fear. And that was probably a very important thing for me, because now I'm not afraid of going on accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm anymore. And it's actually kind of relieving to think about. It's like, oh wow, I'm not actually afraid of this thing anymore. Like, I don't have to be a baby about it. I don't have to like cower or shy away from this thing. I can actually, like, you know, do it, and I can actually have some fun. And that makes me feel pretty good about myself. And that's what I think everybody should have at the end of the day, you know, is this desire to not only be less afraid, but to just stick with the decision and use it as a learning experience. And that kind of ties in with FOMO, fear of missing out, because there's the converse side of it, which is the fear of not missing out, really. And I don't entirely know how that works, but there's this theory I've had in my head for some time that you can actually fear not missing out about something because you do so many things, or you do so much, and then like you don't have anything to miss out on, and it kind of like it voids the purpose of a decision, because like human beings entirely operate off of the basis of making decisions. And when there are no decisions to be made and everything is just handed to you, it's kind of pointless. Life just becomes pretty bland and not really worth anything substantive at that point. And so the way I see it, there always has to be a decision to be made, and there's always not necessarily a better decision over another, because there's a lot of decisions in life that aren't not necessarily better or worse than the other. It's merely what you make of it, and like making the best of decisions, right? Like, it's like, what are you going to eat today? Are you going to eat a banana or an apple? And it's like, I don't know. You could have both. You could have neither. You can have one or the other, and it doesn't really matter. And I know that's a very trivial, dare I say, juvenile comparison, but I'll just use my pumpkins to stack upwards. It's this paralyzing of yourself that is like the ultimate leveling up in the maturity department. Because like once you get over this overthinking bit of like, oh, is it gonna get any better or worse than this, or is this actually the right decision, and you actually make that decision be the right decision. And that's not to say, of course, that you can't just you don't get to change your mind about things, because of course you can change your mind about things, and like you can revert and make new decisions, of course. But the point is, in a sense, that you don't want to be this machinish kind of thing, where a decision is made for you, you know, or you just refuse to make decisions and you just kind of float in life, you know, where there's not really a whole big deal made out of things, and it's, you know, you want, actually, what am I doing? You want to have the ability to make decisions, but what I think a lot of people are afraid of is just, like I said, making those decisions and sticking with them, because people are like, oh, but what if I don't like it? Well, here's the thing. How about you just like it and roll with it and see where it goes? Because the whole bit, as it were, is that logically speaking, if there's no reason to not make this decision, then there's no reason to not make the decision. Like, if I don't see a logically good reason to, you know, not marry this girl, then I'll marry this girl, because there's nothing telling me that I shouldn't, you know? And a lot of people can kind of take that as like, oh, you just what about the financial element of it? Or what if she changes her mind on you later in life? And to that I say, that's merely her decision. If she wants to change her mind and, like, God forbid, cheat on me later in life, that's her problem. I must remain comfortable with the decisions that I have made, because not only is there no choice in a vague sense, but there's not really a point to making the decision at all if I don't stick with it, right? So for those of you who have this anxiety about making certain decisions in life and that it all just might not work out. Oh, skeleton died. Dropped an arrow? How cool is that? If you guys are afraid of making certain decisions or stuff like that, just be at peace, because you just make a decision and then make the best of it. And that is a really cool looking ravine with an Enderman all the way down there. Ooh. Bunnies. Cool. Okay, so I've got some places to farm resources from. This is a very nice area. I'm going to build my house right here on top of this hill. So anyways, point of the story is just make the best of what you have, make the best decisions in the moment, and stick with them. If they don't work out, then, you know, I guess make better decisions or make the best of the new decisions that come up in your life, you know? So with that, I hope you have a very good day. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much. Please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.